Hi, everybody. Today I am going to record my mock draft, mock NFL draft, the first round. At least I'm not going to do the entire draft, but the first round starts or is on Thursday, and I'm going to go through my predictions of who each team is going to take. So I'll select all teams. I will draft for every team. I'll do it fast. And here we go. The first pick seems like a pretty foregone conclusion. It's going to be Caleb Williams to the Chicago Bears. The next couple picks are a little more up in the air. I think the Commanders are going to take Jaden Daniels at number 2. And I think the Patriots will take Drake May at number 3. For the 4th overall pick, I think Marvin Harrison Jr. is going to go to the Cardinals. Son of the great Marvin Harrison from the Indianapolis Colts back in the late 90s, early 2000s. And then when we were at the Chargers, I actually think there's going to be a trade. I think the Chargers are going to trade the 5th overall pick to the Minnesota Vikings. And so this simulator either accepts or rejects trades based on what it thinks is likely during the draft. So I'm going to propose something like this. The 5th overall pick in exchange for Minnesota's 11th, 23rd overall pick, plus next year's first round pick. Let's see if they accept it. They do not. Okay, I'm going to have to throw in a little bit more then. Let's try that again. And obviously, in the real world, there's the opportunity to add existing players as well, which doesn't appear to be an option here. So let's say they offer the 1st and the 3rd next year. That trade is accepted. So in my mock draft, I now have the Vikings picking at 5, and I think they're going to take J.J. McCarthy, the Michigan quarterback who won the national championship last year. And I think the Giants are going to take Malik Neighbors, the LSU wide receiver, at 6th overall. I think the Titans will take Joe Alt, the top tackle in the draft. The Falcons are sitting at number 8. I think they're going to take Rome Odunze, the Washington wide receiver, to try and load up on weapons for Kirk Cousins, who's playing his first year in Atlanta. And we're back to the Bears. The Bears are picking again at 9. I think they're going to go defense this time and take Dallas Turner, the edge rusher from Alabama. Another team looking to load up on weapons for their quarterback with a closing window, the New York Jets. And I think they're going to take Brock Bowers, the Georgia tight end. And here we have the Chargers at the 11th pick that they traded for with the Vikings. I think they're going to take an offensive tackle. Try to shore up that line for Justin Herbert. The Broncos are picking at 12. defense. I think they're going to go Latu, the edge rusher from UCLA. Continue a long-standing tradition of great Broncos defensive players. Von Miller comes to mind. For the Raiders at 13, I think they're going to go offensive tackle. I hesitate to even try to pronounce his name. Talise Fuaga from Oregon State. I think they're going to take him at 13. This Terrion Arnold, cornerback from Alabama, is the highest rated pick on the board right now. I think I can see him going to the Saints at 14. And I feel like the Colts are another team that's looking to shore up their offensive line around a young quarterback. So I'm going to have them take Troy Fautino, the tackle from Washington, at 15. The Seattle Seahawks are picking at 16. I'm going to have them take Brian Thomas Jr., the wide receiver from LSU. I think they could use a little more depth at wide receiver, so seems like a reasonable pick for them. I think the Jaguars will take Jared Verse, the edge rusher from Florida State. They have a pretty solid defense, but I don't think their defensive line is necessarily the strongest component of it. So that could be an area they're looking to strengthen. And I like the Bengals to take Quinyon Mitchell, the cornerback from the Bengals. The cornerback from Toledo. I like him to go to the Bengals at 18th overall. I think the Rams are going to grab an edge rusher, Chop Robinson from Penn State. Not sure how much longer they can count on Aaron Donald to be the dominant player he's been, so I think this is a good opportunity for them to build the defensive line of the future with Chop Robinson. The Steelers, I definitely like to take an offensive tackle. I think they're going to grab Amarius Mims from Georgia at 20th overall. I like the Dolphins to go defense. I think they're going to take Johnny Newton, defensive tackle from Illinois. And the Eagles lost Jason Kelsey last year. I know he's a center, but he was also kind of the anchor of their offensive line, and I think drafting a tackle in the first round is a great way to rebuild your offensive line, so I think they're going to take J.C. Latham from Alabama. We have the Chargers' second pick from the Vikings trade. This time, I think, just to remind myself who they took last time, I had them offensive tackle at 11. So let's go defense this time around. I think they're going to take a safety, Cooper DeJean from Iowa. I like the Cowboys to go defense as well. I think they're going to take a cornerback, Nate Wiggins from Clemson. They've already pretty solid offense. I think they need more defensive pieces. I think the Packers could maybe benefit from another wide receiver, so I'm actually going to go down a little on the suggested picks list here and take Adonai Mitchell from Texas, wide receiver. Another potential new weapon for Jordan Love. Looking at the Buccaneers pick at 26th overall, I think they're going to take Byron Murphy II, defensive tackle from Texas. And here at 27 with the Cardinals, I like another trade. I think the Cardinals are going to trade with the Broncos. I think they are going to want to move up to number 27 and take Michael Penix Jr. He has some injury history, and I think that's why he's falling this far in the draft, but he is arguably one of the most talented quarterbacks coming out this year. And I think getting him at 27 overall will be kind of a steal for the Broncos. And so just moving through here real quick, I think the Bills will take another wide receiver, Xavier Worthy from Texas. They let go of a couple of their top receivers in the offseason, so they need more talent at that position. I like the Lions to take Kool-Aid McKinstry, the cornerback from Alabama. I think the Ravens will take Tyler Guyton, the tackle from Oklahoma. Graham Barton is one of the top centers in the draft. I think he's going to go to the 49ers. And to round out this round, I think the Chiefs will also take a wide receiver, Keon Coleman from Florida State. So this is my full draft prediction for the first round in the 2024 NFL Draft. We'll see how I do. I'm not making any bets necessarily, or at least not giving any out in this video. It always sketches me out a little bit to bet on something like the draft, because someone out there knows the answer of what each team is going to do, or at least what individual teams are going to do, and it makes me wonder about how the odds making process works. So, but one thing I would potentially bet on is like over/under number of defensive players drafted, or number of quarterbacks taken in the top 10, or something like that. So we'll see if I get the bug to make any picks like that, or bets like that for draft night on Thursday. But for the most part, I'll just be watching to see how close I got with these picks. So feel free to leave me a comment and let me know what you think. As always, thanks to my new subscribers. Thanks to everyone who has watched and listened to my videos. And you'll hear from me soon. Take care. Bye-bye.